One of the first West Virginians to contract COVID-19 is speaking out. Due to the stigma surrounding the virus, we're honoring her request to keep her identity anonymous. We'll refer to her as Jane Doe for this story. And tonight, she's telling Annie Moore the story of how a seemingly innocent night out of drinks with friends could have turned deadly.
On March 12th, 11 days before Governor Jim Justice's stay-at-home order, Jane Doe went out with work colleagues for what she thought were a couple innocent drinks. Social distancing at that time was not yet a household phrase. Still, she says she was careful.
We all just sat there and had a drink. Nobody touched anybody else's glasses or anything. And I got up 2 different times and washed my hands during that time.
COVID-19 outbreak inside of a Raleigh County nursing home continues to grow tonight. Our Annie Moore takes us to the Pine Lodge Center in Beckley, where staff are reporting 3 new cases. Annie?
Melinda, today we're learning these 3 new cases are actually staff members. As we first reported on Monday, 35 residents and now 17 staff members total have been infected with the virus. According to a spokesperson for the parent company Genesis, many of these new resident cases are asymptomatic. Still, they say they're working with the health department daily to get this outbreak under control.
In the last couple of days, 2 inmates and 4 staff members at the Southern Regional Jail in Beaver have tested positive for COVID-19. As a result, a report from the Department of Corrections shows an additional 123 inmates there remain in quarantine. But what about the remaining 700 inmates? 2 of them tell our Annie Moore they're being held in such close quarters that they live in fear of an outbreak.
Some inmates say they're being moved into extremely close quarters to accommodate other inmates under quarantine. Roger Hager says his normally 8-man cell now has 28 people.
And if they got to use the bathroom, they got to go in the cells and get 3 men up out of the bed, and they're having to hold her.
Inmate Rodney Work says the only other option is to go in the shower.
We living bad. We don't got no room to do nothing. We can't walk around. We can't do nothing. We got people on the floor everywhere. There's 8 seats in this pod, and there's almost 30 people in here.
With a lack of bed space and seats, inmates say they're being forced to eat standing up and sleep on mats on the floors. Carrie Hager's husband has COPD.
COVID cases are getting increasing around here, so I think it's important, especially how they're packed in there.
But more than the lack of space, the inmates worry the close conditions could lead to an outbreak.
It's been like 2 months since we was tested the first time, and they haven't tested us since. They're exposing us to all this. They're more or less giving us a death sentence.
An outbreak they say they'd be powerless to stop.
Multiple nationally recognized organizations have ranked the state first for its response to COVID-19. Tonight, our Annie Moore is sitting down with Governor Jim Justice for a look at what went into these decisions and the tough ones still ahead.
The University of Washington Research Group monitoring the death toll now projects West Virginia will have among the lowest death rates, crediting the state's quick action to spare lives.
We should have been the biggest target of all, and our numbers are fractions.
Without a single case of COVID-19, West Virginia was the first state to shut down on March 16th. But it was a decision made days earlier that Governor Justice says was the toughest. Were there any decisions that weighed heavier on your heart than others?
Closing our schools, and not being able to go back to school was really tough because I know how much those kids would love to have seen one another, but you just can't put those kids in harm's way. And at the end of the day, I hung on as long as we could, but we just can't do it.
New numbers out from the Department of Health and Human Resources show not only a spike in cases, but 4 deaths at the Summers County Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Hinton. Our Annie Moore joins us there with the latest.
When we first reported on this outbreak just before Halloween, the nursing home had 6 active resident cases and 2 active staff cases. Since that time, the number of resident cases has jumped to 28. And they still have 2 positive staff cases. Now, we've reached out to both the DHHR and the nursing home to learn more about what they're doing to fight this virus. In the meantime, we do know from an earlier press release that they are separating the positive patients from those who are negative, which is standard practice. We also know they're asking positive staff members to stay at home and recover.
In the fight to survive the shutdown, we're sharing the story of a local business owner who was able to find the silver lining, if you will, and he found it in white lining elastic, which can be used to make face masks. He shows our Annie Moore how he was able to turn a potentially catastrophic loss into a profit.
When Tom Sofer first learned of the statewide shutdown, he worried this could be it for his business, Best Fabric and Foam. Then a call came in from a customer.
My first elastic customer telephone call, I didn't think I had any. And then I found some underneath an old table, and I started selling it. It was about the width of a bra strap.
Just about everywhere else in Beckley was sold out, and so was the rest of the state. That box sold out in days when Sofer received yet another call.
The guy I buy my phone from, he's from North Carolina, and I was needing some Dacron for a customer. So I called and saw if he'd bring it to me. And he said, sure, I'll bring some. He said, you wouldn't need any elastic, would you?
Since that time, he's sold more than 2,000 yards of elastic with 2 more boxes on the way. Before Sofer had even heard of the coronavirus, he'd also made money taking broken sewing machines, fixing them and selling them. Now he's not only seeing an uptick in repairs, he has some to sell. This customer drove all the way from Charleston.
It is extremely hard. We have contacted Walmart, Best Buy, who else have we called? Joanne's Fabric. Nobody has sewing machines around here.
Nobody but Sofer, who turned what was once someone else's trash into this coronavirus treasure.
Just dumb luck that my buddy came through with some elastic, and it's going to keep me going for a while. It's going to pay the bills anyway.
Tonight we have an extra special surprise. Krista Hughes from NBC's The Voice has recorded us a special version of Country Roads. From the bottom of our heart to yours, thank you.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there. Older than the trees, younger than the mountain, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. I hear her voice in the morning hours. She calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia.